everyone, and welcome. We'll call the meeting of the Madison City Commission to order for the meeting of March 25th, 2013. Jen, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Delzer?
Here.
Commissioner Erickson?
Here.
Commissioner Wagner? Absent. Commissioner Abraham?
Here.
Mayor Hexum?
Here. You have the minutes of the March 20th meeting as a part of your record. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes of the March 20th meeting?
I would make a motion to approve the minutes of March 20th as presented.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the minutes of the March 20th meeting as prepared. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. We have to approve the March 20th Board of Equalization minutes. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting?
I'll move to approve the minutes of the March 20th Board of Equalization minutes.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the March 20th Board of Equalization minutes as prepared. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. You have the agenda for this meeting before you. Are there any changes to the agenda for this meeting?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the agenda as prepared. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Under appearances, acknowledgements, and correspondence, we have two items listed. One is the February building permit report. Chad, do you have any comment on the building permit report for February?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to look at that item 6209 in depth and have an explanation of
Which one?
that. Replacing the shower tile in Mr. Comus's house.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Take a shower.
I hope your wife is in charge of that. I have no other comments.
Any other questions? Could we have a motion to acknowledge the building permit report for February?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we acknowledge the February building permit report as presented. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Number two, we have a vacation of plat, and I think we have time to do this. This is the Leedale Industries First Edition in Lake County. And Chad?
Yes, I can try to touch on this briefly, and David may also have some input as well. This is an existing plat in what's referred to as Lakeview Industrial Park. Was platted in 1976, as I understand it. At that time, it was not within the city. It now is in the city, and as I understand it, Sayre Associates, you can see, prepared this document included in the agenda packet in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 11-316. If the none of the lots are sold or divvied out, if you will, to other owners and such, that a simple action like this, subsequently filed at the Register of Deeds, would just vacate the plat, as opposed to going through a formal petition to vacate and so on and so forth. And I don't know, I may better leave it at that as far as David.
That's right. The commission simply needs to approve it before it can be filed with the Register of Deeds, but then that will be stricken from the record of plats.
To be honest, I don't think most people even knew it existed. It was just sort of out there and a lingering action.
So it's a matter of record keeping.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying or selling or exchanging any property here.
That's
It's
right.
just the records of the county courthouse.
Somebody was going to, back then, somebody was going to try to get that developed and never got off the ground.
Okay, everyone understands. So all we have to do then is a motion to acknowledge the vacation of the plat.
That'd be fine.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we acknowledge the vacation of the plat entitled Deedale Industries First Edition in Lake County. Any further questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. We have no items listed under old business. Moving to new business, we have numerous items. The time being 5:35 PM. We have a hearing scheduled for 5:35 PM regarding proposed amendments to the comprehensive land use plan. And I believe we should take that matter now and follow that with the resolution. So, Chad, you want to be first on this one, or?
Yes, I can do that. The exhibit included in the agenda packet shows what the existing land use plan shows in this particular area. Again, this has to do with the Lakeview Industrial Park and the proposed change to this area in the Lakeview Industrial Park. When the comprehensive plan was reviewed in 2008, the existing was established as the future land use with some industrial and some commercial. When the zoning ordinance was subsequently updated in '09, there was nothing changed from what existed in the zoning map prior to '09, and so we just kept it the same. Essentially, it was all industrial. Nothing was changed to match the existing comprehensive plan. Perhaps in hindsight, it should have, because the zoning is supposed to coincide with the comprehensive land use plan. However, the use of the land and the marketing of the land, if you will, as expressed in a letter from the owner of the land, the Lake Area Improvement Corporation, indicated that they would prefer to have the flexibility, having this be commercial and industrial both, flexibility in this entire area for that. And so their request was presented to the Planning Commission. They had a hearing. They did, the resolution that they approved is included in the agenda packet, where they did recommend amending this Exhibit A, this small area in Lakeview Industrial Park, from some of it being commercial, some of it being industrial, to a joint type use, which is a commercial / industrial, to provide the flexibility to market it how they wish, but then also to allow the existing zoning map to be most properly in line, I guess, if you will, with the comprehensive land use plan. And so that's really the extent of it. I can answer any questions rather than trying to provide any further.
I guess the only question I have, Chad, is that when you have an industrial designation, there's probably a special set of circumstances that goes with industrial, and by going to commercial / industrial, you have more flexibility and latitude for the type of use of the property.
I would say yes, and by what you can do is there's more opportunities to change, rezone, if you will, because the zoning district is what really governs in many ways. And so if this is commercial / industrial, as long as the zoning underneath of that is generally in compliance with the comprehensive land use plan, then the owner can, or subsequent owners, successors can petition to change the zoning, and it would have more opportunities, more flexibility to comply with the comprehensive land use plan. It's a significant component of this is housekeeping, really.
You have the maps as a part of your record there. The purple area would revert to a red area, which is commercial / industrial, along that section of the industrial park. Everyone clear where we're coming and going? David, do you have any comment, or?
I don't have anything further.
Is there anyone in the room that would have a comment regarding or question regarding the, because this is a hearing, regarding the amendments to the comprehensive land use plan for the industrial park.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to, this is just a resolution, is it? To adopt resolution 2013-4 as an amendment to the comprehensive land use plan for the city of Madison.
Second.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded that we have, following a review of the proposed amendments to comprehensive land use plan, that we adopt resolution 2013-4, the amendment to the comprehensive land use plan regarding property in the Lakeview Industrial Park. Is that the way you wish to have it stated, Chad?
That should be fine. yeah.
Okay. Any questions or speaking on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. That takes care of new business 1 and 2. We are then moving to business number 3. We have a request here for a document to, it's called the Emergency Solutions Grants Program Local Government Certification regarding the Domestic Violence Network of the Lakes Region. That is our local domestic violence network agency, and as it's been explained to me, they are applying for a grant. Christy, I gotta get the name right here. Christy Van de Wettering is here. She is the director of the Domestic Violence Network. Maybe, Christy, if you want to come up to the table, please do. We might have 1 or 2 questions here. The Domestic Violence Network is operating here, and you are applying for a grant that requires the endorsement of local government,
Yeah, local
as you explained it to
government
me.
certification that we exist.
And
that we are.
the grant will be from the state of South Dakota?
It's the state of South Dakota. It's an emergency solutions grant through the Housing Development Corporation. So it actually provides funding for our shelter, so we can pay our rent. It covers utilities, and then also emergency funds for victims to get housing of their own, covers utility deposits, case management services, and rent deposits, and possibly rent if they are in need of that assistance.
And Christy, you explained to me, we had met earlier on this, that your grant is, the amount of the grant would be approximately?
About $65,000.
Okay, and that is to help finance your shelter needs here
Correct.
for your shelter in Madison.
Correct.
Mhm. And as you explained to me this, and I believe, David, you can correct me, there's no obligation as far as the city of Madison. We are not, obligated in any way, shape, manner, or form. We're simply.
We're really acknowledging that they exist here within the community.
And okay, and that was explained some on the supplementary information that you had there. Christy was asking for this a couple of weeks ago. She's under a deadline to get it to Pier this week, so Jen and I had prepared the paperwork so she could take it with her tonight, assuming all of you agree that this is what we want to have for her to do that. So are there any questions of Christy on the operation or the grant or use of the funds? Or if not, could we have a motion then to approve the local government certificate for the grant application for the Domestic Violence Network?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the Emergency Solutions Grants Program Local Government Certificate and Certification for the Domestic Violence Network of the Lake Region. Any questions or speaking on that motion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Jen, I believe, has the paperwork for you, so you can Good luck in dealing with Pierre on your,
Oh, it's
on your-
done.
on your
Just go with
request.
somebody else, so it'll be fine. Thank you for getting.
and thank you for
that agenda.
coming. We
Yep.
appreciate your support. Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
Okay, new business, number 4. Randy, we're gonna get you on the road here. This would be a temporary alcohol license application, the Madison Fire Department. We have to do this every year. They are having their, I guess we call it the 40th annual dance on Saturday, April 6th, Madison City Armory. This would be a temporary on-sale license pursuant to South Dakota law. And the fire department is purchasing their liability insurance and making sure that they're cooperating with the police department and so forth regarding age of participants and so forth. That letter is a part of your record. Randy Minner, Fire Chief, is here. Randy, do you have anything to add to the?
I think I put in the memo that we don't allow anybody under 21. We have guys that work at gas stations or at bars that have been trained in IDing people, so we've never had an issue there. And like I say, with the help of the cops, they come through and we have had no issues, so we'd like to ask your approval, and it's a huge fundraiser for us.
Well, 40 years is a commendable record, and I guess if there were problems, they would have surfaced by now. You wouldn't have made it 40 years. So are there any questions on the part of the commissioners as to the purpose and intent of this application? If not, could we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve the temporary alcohol license for Madison Fire Department for the Fireman's Day.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the temporary alcohol license application for the annual Fireman's Dance by the Madison Fire Department. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried.
Thank you.
Good luck on your trip to Wentworth.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Randy. Okay, new business number 5, bid number 807, the Sidewalk Improvement Project 2013-1. Okay, Chad, we'll go back to you on this one.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bids were opened on February 26th for the project you had mentioned, our sidewalk project. There was a bid schedule 1 and a bid schedule 2. Schedule 1 is what we refer to commonly as the city work, the corners, along city properties and such. This combines both the sidewalk inspection program, sidewalk, which is repairs from damaged sidewalk and such, and also the assessment program. We combined those into one contract. There was 2 bidders. The low bidder was the same for both schedules, and that's good. That helps in administration. And the low bidder is Big L's Contracting out of Sioux Falls. They've worked for us on several projects now. They do a very fine job for us. Very pleased with their work. And the prices for Schedule 1, which again I referenced as the city work, are within our budgets. And so I would recommend that we award both Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 to Big L's Contracting of Sioux Falls.
Okay, are there any questions on the part of the commissioners? I guess then, if we agree, we would need one motion for the total bid then, Chad?
I think, one motion for the total bid. You could reference Schedule 1 and Schedule 2, awarding both of those to
You should.
Okay.
Big L. Yeah, okay.
One motion will cover
One
the-
motion referencing.
Okay. Are there any questions regarding the bid numbers, the bidders, 2 bidders? Big Al's been with us for several years, hasn't he? Even the alley
He did
improvement
the
project.
sidewalks
too.
last year and the alleys the year before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, any questions? If not, could we have a motion then to award the bid?
Make a motion to award Big L's Contracting from Sioux Falls, South Dakota for both Schedule 1 and Schedule 2.
Second.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded that we award bid number 807, Sidewalk Improvement Project 2013-1 to the low bidder, Big L's Contracting of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, including Schedule 1 and Schedule 2. And as I read it correctly, the total bid would amount to $246,263.45. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions or speaking to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you, Chad, that looks good. Okay, new business number 6, we have an amendment to the owner-engineer agreement, water treatment plant improvements, 2012, Banner Associates Incorporated. Chad or Fred, whoever wants to,
Sure, I can
Yes.
comment on parts of this, and Fred can comment as well as he desires. This is an amendment to the professional service agreement for Banner for the design and the construction engineering for the water treatment plant project. The items listed under number 1 within the item in the agenda packet, where it is the reason why there is additional effort and work required, and a significant part of that, at least three of the 4 bullet points are primarily related to some issues that arose, I believe, was it last spring, Fred, where we had a water line break on our raw water lines, and those were not originally included in the project, and with some of the major issues that we had at that time, we thought it was appropriate to include those in part of the project, and so that was done. There's additional time and effort with surveying and putting together the plans and specifications for those, and included in that effort. We do still believe that the project's within budget with this amendment, and even the additional work added to the project. You know, we're watching the bids and the estimates closely, you know, as we bid it to assure that is the case. You don't know till bid day, but so generally, and then the square yards of asphalt, it wasn't 100% certain at that point in time when we finalized the agreement with them, the alignment of some of the lines, the raw water lines, the realignment where they were going to come into the plant and such, and so some of it did end up crossing some of the asphalt, and then with the construction effort going on, it's going to be pretty rough on the asphalt, and so there's going to warrant removal and replacement of a good portion of the asphalt on the project as well, not only for these lines, but you know, for the construction equipment and such, and it's almost 20 years old as well, so getting close to its life cycle.
Fred, anything to add?
That's covered everything.
I think you have covered in the appendix 1 there to Exhibit A, the work that is to be done, and that this is an amendment to the original contract. Then this will increase, correct, Chad, the total agreement in the amount of $239,720. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The only question I had, Mr. Mayor, either Chad or Fred can ask, I see we're gonna have to replace the loading dock as a result of demolition. I assume the demolition cost is also in there?
Correct.
Okay.
Right, and we're hoping not to have to demo the entire loading dock, a portion of it, because
I just saw the replacement. I
Right.
didn't, since this was an add to coming in there, I didn't know if that demolition had been calculated in the original bid.
yes, yes.
Okay, all right. That's all the only question I had, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, any other questions or comments regarding this amendment to the water treatment plant improvements?
Mr. Mayor, I'll move the adoption of the amendment to owner engineering agreement, amendment number 1, as presented, which would increase the project an additional $239,720.
Second.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded that we approve the amendment to the owner-engineer agreement for the water treatment plant improvements with Banner Associates in the amount of $239,720. Any further questions or speaking on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 8, resolution 2013-3, plat of the Lemmy addition. I guess, Chad, we're back to you here.
Okay. This is a subdivision preliminary plat, also commonly referred to as a master plan that has been, I've recommended approval to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission has reviewed this as well and recommended approval to the City Commission. It's property outside the city limits, but within the extraterritorial plating jurisdiction area. We had a very good working relationship with the owner and their engineers and Lake County in this process. And I guess in summary, the idea here is we have this jurisdiction and we try to use it prudently and not extraneously, if you will, in overburdening the landowner for infrastructure improvements that aren't necessary in the county, i.e. we don't hold them to the same standard as if this development was in the city. However, we do try to document what will happen someday if this is in the city and where these utilities will be for the benefit of the owner and subsequent owners of these different parcels. And we believe we've come up with a reasonable solution for that. This is just phase 1. There are different things that will be required for phase 2 and 3 when that comes to fruition on behalf of this, the owner here, and they're well aware of that. It worked through very well. We don't have a lot of these that we review, but this is one that we've done, and it went through very smoothly.
Yes, the county has the final say, of course, on the...
They also have a signature block in here, and they get to review it as well.
This, for the information of the public, this is west of Madison, along South Dakota 34, on the south side of the road, and just a little ways east of the Prairie Village property, I guess, Chad, if that's correct.
Yeah, that's really correct. Mm-hmm.
There are no city services involved with this plat?
That's correct.
Nothing? Okay.
Right. Many times when this will come into the city, for example, a lot of times that is when we'll deal with the negotiations, if you will, with the landowners as far as dedicating the additional necessary right-of-ways. As you may note, this is, well, you didn't get all the pages, but this road is dedicated as an easement, and then we'll also talk about how any roads would be installed, water and sewer, likely through assessments at that time. And we just kind of memorialize that in some of these pages of this document too, so that everybody knows what to expect and what will be happening.
It looks, according to the map, that there's a new road in and out at 2 points on 34 and then going around the lot area. Is that correct? Because I'm seeing the
row of lots along the highway are existing and developed for the most part. The new lots are along what is referred to as Tucker Trail, and then to the east of what's referred to as Broken Arrow Avenue. Correct. There's 6 lots in phase 1 that the developer is looking to market. And
that'll be that Broken Arrow Avenue will be a new road. into the
Correct.
area. Okay, I get the picture.
Yep.
So, that's all the question I had.
I think all we have to
Anything
do
else?
is endorse.
We would have a motion then to approve resolution number 2013-3. Is that correct, Chad?
Correct.
The resolution is on the
Yep, I see.
back of the,
I'll move to approve resolution 2013-3, which is a resolution, I guess, approving the preliminary plat of the new addition.
Second.
motion made and seconded that we approve resolution number 2013-3, the plat of the Lemmy addition, which is outside the city limits and west of Madison. Any further questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 9, first reading of
Mayor?
I'm sorry.
Can we go back to number 7? We didn't set the date for the
Yeah.
water treatment plant bid.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we go back to reconsider, okay, bid number 809, set the bid date for the water treatment plant improvement project. My apology. What's your recommendation on that, Chad?
I would recommend that we set the bid date for Wednesday, April 24th at 2 p.m. This project, we've reviewed this project, the plan specifications Fred and I have, and also the DENR has been forwarded those plans and reviewed and provided comments on those and approved advertising. And so I would recommend that we proceed with advertising for that April 24th bid letting.
And that's at 2 p.m. here?
Correct, 2 p.m. here in, we receive them in the finance office, and we typically open them in the commission room here.
Okay, we need a motion then to set the bid date for the water treatment plant improvement project.
I would make a motion to set the bid date for bid number 809, the water treatment improvement project for Wednesday, April 24th at 2 p.m. at the finance office.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve, I set the bid date for the water treatment plant improvement project for 2 p.m. Wednesday, April 24th, 2013, in the City Finance Office of Madison, South Dakota. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you for.
No problem.
I was just trying to get ahead here a little bit. Okay, then we would go to new business number 9, first reading of ordinance number 1542, security lights. Who has that one? Chad, I guess?
It's kind of
I
a,
can-
it's a,
yeah.
kind of,
Yours?
it's a group effort.
Okay.
We've met, I think Jen was there, and Dennis and Fred and Chad and I were all together meeting on this. Obviously, this is, there are things going on in our city and developments that have prompted us to take a look at our procedure as far as, I'm sorry, and Scott was there as well. The security lighting that we've been able to do in the past and what we feel is appropriate to do in the future. And we have decided to, for lack of a better word, memorialize what our past has procedure and I guess what we've been willing to do. And that which is what you see before you in ordinance number 1542 for the most part. I think Dennis had quite a bit to do with drafting along with Chad. I'm sure David probably looked at it. And they've shared it with, I think, Scott and I, perhaps everyone's seen it, other than it was on the agenda. But this is basically what we've been doing in the past. We debated whether we wanted to get into the security lighting business and to what extent, and we felt, based upon what Dennis's department has indicated, he felt this is about as far in the water as we want to get. So that's, if anybody else wants to comment that was involved in the process, but that's kind of where we are.
Okay, so this then will change or clarify what we will do and what we won't do
Right.
in a given situation or given area.
Right, and it's basically what we've been doing, but, you know, not more, or probably not less, but this is just putting it into an ordinance.
Mhm. Okay, any questions or speaking on the proposed ordinance number 1542 to amend Chapter 7, Electricity and Electricians, Article 3, Municipal Light Department by adding a section relating to security lights within Madison?
I think this is the one thing that I really liked about this, and I think there'll be some more of these coming, is there's many times we deal with these issues over and over and over. Dennis has to come to us and get our opinion when we can have something in writing to let him, guidelines to let him know, you know, what to do without having to run to the commission every time. Especially because we have the same basic guidelines, but we try to remember them every time we go through these issues, so. It's just a nice, especially for me, when I don't work with it all the time, when people have questions, I have a resource to go back to and say, you know, this is what we've done in the past, this is what we intend to do in the future.
Otherwise, we've had to rely on institutional memory of supervisors to what did we do in the past, and if they could remember, they did, and if they couldn't, then we all had to try to regroup and figure out what it was. So that's
And
what
it allows for a consistent, uniform application of how we're gonna deal with these particular issues.
Okay, this then, okay, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I think it helps the staff, us as staff, it helps the commission, I think, as well, to know what's been done in the past, and it helps the customers too, you know, they know what we do and don't do. I concur with
And Dennis
Dorothy.
did some good research, he looked at some different surrounding communities, what they were doing.
Okay, then, this would be the first reading. Tonight, included in your motion, we probably would have the second reading when, Jen? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. What date is that? I don't have my calendar right here. 2 weeks? April something.
8th,
Yep.
April 8th.
April 8th, okay.
Make a motion to approve first reading of ordinance 1542. Set second reading at April 8th.
Second.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded that we approve the first reading of ordinance number 1542 regarding security lights as outlined for our city municipal electric department guidelines, with the second reading to be at our April 8th commission meeting. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 10, sale of water meters to the city of Oldham. Fred, you still got some for sale, huh?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay,
The
well,
city of Oldham has sent us a letter requesting that we authorize the purchase, for them to purchase 4 of our Badger meters that we have that are used.
That's the same price you sold the other ones.
Yes, sir. Same price of $25 each, so.
Would it be possible for you to get a vendor's license up there and go door to door? Is that what you're trying for that?
We're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can.
how many do we have left to sell?
This will make 104 that we've sold out of approximately 300, so. we've
Okay,
still
so
got
we
some for
still
sale.
have some inventory to get
We've
rid
got
of.
some other interests that are
Make sure that
asking
gets the
about
paper.
those.
Okay,
Done right.
good, good.
Yep.
Well, we'll do everything we can to help the city of Oldham with their issues, so. Okay,
Do we need to just authorize the sale or declare them surplus first? Or have we already
I think
declared
we
them
did.
surplus?
They've already declared.
They have.
Yep.
Yep.
I would make a motion to authorize the sale of 4 water meters to the city of Oldham for $25 each.
Second?
motion is made and seconded that we authorize the sale of 4 water meters at $25 each to the city of Oldham. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 11, personnel. Couple of personnel recommendations there for the community center.
Make a motion to approve personnel recommendations.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the personnel recommendations as presented. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Under announcements and other business, we have one announcement regarding absentee voting. How's it going, Jen?
They're coming in already. Combined school municipal election is scheduled for April 9th. We started absentee voting today in the finance office. Office hours are 8 to 5. Bring a form of identification.
Can they, is this the only, can they do it at the school as
Also
well?
at the school,
They vote for both
correct.
candidates?
Everything's
We've
on
got
one-
both ballots. Rural
everything's
can
on
also
one
vote at
ballot,
the
right,
finance
so.
office.
Wonderful.
Either or,
Either or,
but that's only two places.
correct.
Okay. Very good. Any questions regarding absentee voting? Well, that completes the agenda for the meeting of March 25th. We have no other considerations to take, so we're ready for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you all very much.